So in physics, we're doing the egg drop project where we are going to throw an egg from a height of 11 feet, and we need to create an object for the egg to survive the fall. This is the object I created, where the egg goes here, and this is a cushion and some cones with weights inside. And I didn't create this object because I wanted to, but I created this because it applies some physics principles that will make the egg survive the fall. The first thing you need to know is that the pressure is the force per unit area. So that means that the bigger the area, the less pressure the egg will need to survive. So to apply that to my object, I added this cushion to the bottom of the object. So since it has a bigger area, the egg will experience less pressure. Because since the area is bigger, the pressure per unit of the area is going to be distributed among a bigger area. So the pressure is going to be smaller. Therefore, the egg will have more chances to survive the fall. Second of all is the impulse momentum theorem, where force times time is equal to mass times velocity. So I thought that if I increase the mass of the object, and I did that by adding weights equally distributed in the cones, the velocity of the object will be less. So the less velocity, the softer the impact will be. So I added some weights in the cones equally distributed to increase the mass of the object, so the velocity will be less. The other thing I did was the impulse. And impulse is the force times the times it takes to come to a total stop. So in my object, I added this cushion where when the object falls, the object when it falls, it falls and comes to a complete stop. But when it falls, it has a sort of a rebound. So it does like this. And the rebound, what it does, it increases the time for the object to come to a total stop. And when the time increases, the force exerted on the object decreases because the force is going to be distributed among a longer period of time. That means that there is a less force per second. And since the force is distributed among a longer period of time, it means that the force is going to be less, so the egg has more chances to survive. After I created my object, I did a trial where the first trial I did 3 trials. Where the first trial the egg broke, and in that object the cushion was smaller, and at that time it had no weight there were no weights inside the cones. So since there were no weights inside inside the cones, my guess was that the velocity was larger, and that means that the change in momentum was bigger, and also since the cushion was smaller, the area was smaller, meaning the pressure exerted on the egg was bigger. So my second and third trial, I did this one that you're seeing right here, and what I did was increase increase the cushion. That means I got a bigger cushion with a bigger area. So then that meant that the pressure that the force on the egg, on the pressure that the egg would need to survive is smaller because the area increased. And also I added a weight which it gave more balance to the object, and it also decreased the velocity because the mass increased. And on the second and the third trial, the egg survived the fall. So that was how I applied the physics principles to help me build my object to help the egg survive the fall. Thank you.